What's going on YouTube? Matt from Nicromobeum here. Now, I'm back with another build, a YouTube build for Mr. Mark McCann. Now, obviously we've got his P1 exhaust to remake. So again, we're going titanium. There's so many pie cuts, I am not even gonna start doing them myself. So we've got Jack from Performance Tube Products has already sorted us out all the pie cuts that we need for the build, plus a few extras. And one important thing about this build are the tips. That's kind of like the whole reason we're going for it. These aren't 3D printed. These are actually done with a guillotine from, again, Jack from Performance Tube Products. And I've already got the bits cut, ready for it. So what I need to do is cut these open, put them together, weld them, polish them, because these are of a sort of like a nice raw finish. However, we do want the tips to be polished, so I'm going to polish Mark's tip. So yeah, I guess we just get started. I know this is going to drive everybody mad, and it's already driving me mad because I've made a mistake of actually taking it all off without gloves on. So you'll probably be able to see it. I've got like fingerprints. I don't know if that's going to zoom in or focus on that, but I mean, check out the finish on these. How cool is that? And yeah, so like I said, we've got our center sort of tip. That's not center. Here's one I took off earlier. So essentially, it's going to look like that and that. And then I'll see that on the other side. So we're going to try and get it absolutely perfect. So this is going to be like the most fun bit out of it. So the idea behind the tips, like I said, we're going for the trapezium style, triangle, Tron style tip. We're going to get the tips sorted first. Once they're done, we're going to polish them with 1 inch of their life. And then what we're going to do straight after that, we're going to anodize them. So yeah. I've kind of got free rein with the anodizing, however, I want it to look right with the car. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. Let's get started. These aren't your typical round or oval exhaust tips. Mark had the idea of having this style of tip when we went to see him, which we then designed in CAD. These were cut using a guillotine by Jack and sent to me to weld up. What I have to do first though is tack them all up, which is what I'm doing here. It's a long process, especially when trying to get all the tips the same height. They do distort and move around a little when welding them up, so really have to be careful and put plenty of tacks on them. So now, other than having fingerprints, I did do a little test polish on there, so that's nice and shiny. But check out how mental that looks. Now, I don't know whether or not just to have them slightly spaced a little more. I'm not sure about that. Maybe I might. How are we going to do it? I mean, I think if it's too spaced, it might not look right. I mean, that looks pretty sweet. I mean, what we could do as well, have the center one sticking out just ever so slightly, so it's like that. Oh, so pleased how this looks. Now that I'm happy with the tips and the tacks, it's time to weld them up. One of the most important things to do with titanium is to back purge. This means putting argon gas on the inside of the part, just so we get a nice shiny weld on the inside. If we don't, we'll get a weak weld, and that's where we start to see cracks through the heat cycles. Once we've welded up the 3 tips, we've got to put them in the bandsaw just to trim them to the right length. That's what I'm doing here. Then we've got to deburr the edges with our deburring tool just to get rid of any sharp points. And finally, we put it on 3 different mops. The first mop is to remove the welded look on the edges, the second is to cut into the titanium with a cutting compound, and then finally a softer mop just to get that ultra high finish. It's super dirty work, hence a mask, although I still look like I've been working down the mine when it's done. To get a true representation of how well you did on the polishing, you can always take it outside. This is what it looked like before, and once it's all polished, this is what it looks like now, so we can get on with anodizing. Now this is polished, I might just go over it because there is one line, I don't know if this picks up on the camera, there is one line that goes across there where I may have been a little bit too hard on the polish, but the rest of it is super clear. I do need to, yeah, even though these are clean, putting my fingerprints all over it is not a good idea. So we're gonna get the other two done, and that's, I don't want to put that down. Put that down like so, get the other two done, and then we're going to anodize them. So if you come to this video because of Mark, you already know what the colour of the car is and what the colour of the tips are. However, this is how we're going to anodize the tips. We are going for a, I don't know yet, actually. Mark says I have free reign to do it. However, obviously, it's got to look good. So if we go, it's a matte orange P1 or satin orange P1, like the Lando Norris colour. So I think what we'll do is, should we go blue, gold, blue? So there's, So all I need to do is stick them in the tub and anodize them. So I think if we go for like, I don't know, like a dark blue, go dark blue for the outer tips and then a gold for the center tip. So let me find my tripod and we'll get it in the bucket and then we'll start anodizing. Now, there's lots of videos online on how to anodize. They are really good at giving you the basics, but it's like everything. You have to practice to get good at it. What's the saying? Hard talent beats work or something like that? What we have to do is attach a positive clip to the titanium we're anodizing. We play with different bolts on the variable volt machine. With this colour blue, we went for around 42 volts. The gold, we went for 21 volts. Leaving it in the water gives us that uniform finish and a deeper colour. This is not to be tried at home. I have shocked myself once or twice before. Trust me, it doesn't tickle. So all I need to do now is start joining them together. I need to find my notes, but finding like the position, like the top points on like the total width of the original one, that's what I'm gonna go by. So it will be equal split and whatnot, but I just need to join them together. So yeah. I think I do have some pie cuts. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the pie cuts out. I'm gonna brush them because we're gonna go for a gold brush. The exhaust I'm gonna do is gold. I think that's it. It's gonna be gold, and yeah, and just leave the tips blue. Obviously, over time, it's all gonna change colour anyway. But for the wow factor, this is how I'm gonna do it. I think so. Yeah. So we've just got to Onyx Automotive, me and the old man, now working on Mark's car. Also, you just see me do the tips for the exhaust. Now, all we need to do is spend a bit of time just taking the rear clam off. So we're just about to take the wing off. We're taking off the side for like panels. So now we just need to find 1,000 nuts and bolts just to take off the rear clam. So I'm not even time lapsing that, and hopefully we'll get it done within the next hour. So yeah, let's crack on. So from the last clip, we were at Onyx Automotive, just doing like all the clam stuff. Now we kind of run out of time and I had to go for other places to get like their bits done. Now it's come back to us and we kind of got to do it all over again, sort of. There's still a couple of nuts and bolts that are off, like the tricky ones, which were a nightmare to originally get off anyway. But now, we have it here, we are in the unit. I have a Jake with me who's staying off oh, he's waving. Need a haircut. Need a haircut, looks like a Yeti. But now we just need to get the wing up and all the nuts and bolts that we've already taken off, back off. So I guess, do we do a time lapse on that? Yeah, we'll do a time lapse on that. So one of the good things about going to see Onyx to start on the car is that we actually already knew where all the nuts and bolts were. They mainly consisted of T25 and T30 bolts. All of the bolts were super accessible apart from two either side of the clam. The rest were either under the car or around the wheel arch lining. Finally, a McLaren that was put together with the thought of someday, someone like me will have to take it apart to do the exhaust. Right, so me and Jake just got the clam off. We did get some help from the neighbours just to lift it off. But now, this is the exhaust. It is smaller than I was expecting, actually. It's very sort of 600 LT-esque in terms of size. So what we're going to be doing straight from the downpipes into like an X pipe, into well, that's it, then straight out into the tips. You can see why it's so loud, because there is literally no silencing on this at all. But yeah, we'll get the ball and socket clamps off, we'll take the sound tubes off in hangers, and that's it. It's gonna be a quick uninstall on this, and then we're going straight onto the jig. So I think that's going to be Jake's job. Maybe, I might do it. I might pull a late one tonight just to get it done. But yeah, let's get started on this. I've already cracked off the exhaust clamps, and they actually came off quite nicely. We are going to replace these clamps anyway, and then we need to, I've undone those already. So we can take these off properly, maybe. And then all we need to do after that, undo the clamps properly and then slide it out, because the hangers on these are slid in. So, should be relatively straightforward. I shouldn't have said that, because that's going to... Yeah, that was a mistake, I shouldn't have said that. Straightforward, that's it, game over. Right, so I've got all these pie cutters, I've started tacking bits together already. Exhaust is off, I'm going to make it to the car. I'm not going to jig round the original one, just because there's so many different sort of like variables. Like the tip isn't even flat, it's got like a radius on it. So I'm going to make it to the car. I've got an idea on how I want the stuff to look. So these are essentially like the like socket joints that go onto the downpipe, and essentially it's just going to look like that. And we're going to start building the next pipe. All these pie cuts are supplied from Performance Tube Product. We've not been sponsored by Performance Tube Product, but I buy everything from them. Everything like machined, water cut, laser cut, pie cut, everything. Good company to work with. So thanks to Jack for supplying these. Now, first thing what we're going to do is we're going to make an X pipe. I think it's going to be 90. So these are 15-degree pie cuts, and we're going to make a 90-degree X pipe essentially. And yeah, weld them together. This is going to be the first thing to do, just because we can mock up from the downpipes to the X pipe, and then we've got free reign to do everything else. So we're going to do a couple more pipe cuts. I've got loads of pipe cuts in stock now, so yeah, essentially it's just going to look like that. And the best thing about it is the seam on the pie cuts. If you line them all up together and then tack them all up, it makes a perfect 90. So that's kind of like a nice little, what's it called? It's kind of a nice little quality of life for this. So yeah, I'll get tacking all these up, and we'll have to weld them up first, and then we cut them into the X pipe. So yeah, we'll get doing that now. Right, so I've got the centre tip all welded up, so if you just have a quick look at that. So what it is, the side tips are going to be the main tips, so the exhaust is literally going to go straight round there, so we'll have to sort of like, it's called fish mouthing, so it kind of looks like a fish mouth at the end of the day. It'll go into the exhaust itself, and yeah, it'll part go in the normal, like the side tips, and hopefully, well, equally go through the centre tip as well, so that there's an even amount of distribution. Essentially, that's how it's going to look. If we just want that there, that's one side. And then the side tips, I just need to do the straight sections that go onto there, cut the hole out, and then once that's all welded, all it is straight up to the X pipe, and then from the X pipe to the down pipes. So yeah, we just continue with that. I do like that. I'm getting dirty fingerprints all over it, so I'll have to give that a wipe down before. But yeah, what we did was we did actually trim this down just slightly because it was a little bit too long. So it is a lot shorter. I think how much did we cut off? Like 2 inches or so. But gives us that extra space for adjustability, and I think I've got it perfect. So it is perfectly 90 from this heat shield. So it'll still aim upwards, but it is perfect there. Obviously, we still need to do the drain holes. But other than that, I'm going to rest that there. Pretty much centre or so. It slides down. But right, so I've been hard at work doing this. We are kind of probably 70% of the way through, probably a little bit more. So we do have like both the downpipe sections done into the X pipe, and that is like central, which is lovely. The tips are done as well, which do look pretty cool. There's fingerprints all over it, as like, you know, because I've just worked out the angle between that bit and the tips as well. So I've already got the pie. I've had to cut like a 12.5 degree pie cut for each side, just because of like the certain angles and stuff. But now, yeah, I'm just going to tack up the pie cuts and whatnot, and then yeah, just do like a little straight section. I think I just measured 45 mil between them, and then that's it. Just need to anodize. Yeah, we're going gold at the top, and then it's going to transition from gold straight to blue. So it's going to probably have like that bit there is going to be like purple, and then into the blue bit, then obviously into tips. So yeah, I guess, you know, get on to the next bit. So we are all tacked up for, like, we've got the 4 last joins. So the bits that go on the downpipe to the X pipe and to the tips. On camera it looks really weird, like gold to blue, but it does have like a little bit of purple in there, but you kind of can't see the transition. But yeah, just going to do a little time lapse of welding the last 4 joins, then it's sound tubes and hangers, and then it's 4 hours of putting the car back together. So yeah, I guess we get started on that, and let's do the time lapse. Let's go. One of the many things when welding something so complicated is just how long you have to wait to purge something like this. I waited about 20 minutes to purge it. We've got some great gas coverage on the inside. It's just super awkward to weld. The 2x3 collector for the tip was pretty difficult. I'm not used to welding around pointy sections. I guess there's nothing like learning on a car worth over £1 million, eh? Good thing I've worked on cars like this before, otherwise I would have been a bit nervous. The only real downside to working on a hybrid is that I can't really weld the hangers while it's on the car. I don't want to risk damaging the hybrid battery or even giving myself a nasty shock. I had to mark out the hangers, tack them while it was on my bench, fit it back to the car and then just adjust it just so they fit. It went surprisingly well because this could have easily taken hours and put me well into the night. Right, so we're all done now. All we need to do is stick it on the car and put the car back together. All the hangers are done, reinforced sound tubes, reinforced top hanger, and yeah, that's pretty much everything. And the only thing that you're going to see are the tips, which is like the main attraction anyway. But obviously there's a lot of work gone into this. I mean, how long have we been doing this for now? All day.
Yep.
Plus, yeah, I started it yesterday, so probably 6 hours yesterday, plus 12 today, so 18 hours total to get this done. It's a long old do, that is. But it's done. You get it on the car, and now get the car back together and get it shipped back to Mark. So, right now, clam's back on, exhaust is on. It's just lots of like tidying up. So yeah, like the side pieces need to go on. I've got Jake here with me in the morning. We did get finished about 2:30 this morning, so the exhaust and the clam went on. And yeah, just doing all the tidying up now. So let's get a time lapse together, get all the panels on. Like I said, just like the little bits of trim there. Obviously the trim like around there, and a million bolts and screws underneath the car. So ready for Mark to pick it up in a couple of hours. Even though we finished late last night, I completely forgot to record any footage of the new exhaust on the car. My dad did take a picture, which is on the screen now. What do you think to it? If you like it, how about you drop a like on the video? And if you're interested in this sort of thing, how about drop a sub? It's completely free and you'll be notified when more videos like this go live. We've got some pretty cool builds coming up and you don't want to miss out. Right, we're all buttoned up. About 2 hours later, we've got it all together. Should we just have a quick appreciation of Jake's design. Jake designed these tips. We had an idea of how we wanted those tips to be, and yeah, well, obviously Mark's idea, having something similar to that. We had a bit of a back and forth. Jake designed these amongst a couple of other designs as well, and yeah, sounds pretty much the same. But you think it sounds?
I think it's a little bit louder.
You think it's a little bit louder?
I don't understand how, but...
But we have added an X pipe instead of having a full merge, so that might be the reason for it. But regardless, looks sick, and fingers crossed that this is going to hit gravity. So everyone that's seen this before the 29th, 30th of August, yeah, this is what it looks like, and yeah, you'll see this at gravity if you are there. So, and there we go. Mark's car is done. It's on. Should we have a little listen? Super pleased with that actually. Looks wicked. Sounds mad. The fella picking it up, Chance, reckons it's a bit louder as well. So, yeah. Right, ready to go back to Mark and get some new extra bits, goodies. I think it's wheels next, so yeah, we get this loaded up, and again, thanks for watching, catch you next time.